Have some respect for yourself, young lady. Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. I don't know whether it's because I'm boring as fuck. Probably that bondage stuff. Anyway. Morning. I don't know what is going on with my hair. In fact, it's not even morning. I've done it again. It's 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet. And what I'm having is this hand-sized portion of some this is some like creamy chicken pasta that I made. Of course is plant-based. I've used some of the, let me find a bit for you. There's a brand called Naked Glory. Can you see this? And they do this frozen chicken stuff. They have like a tikka masala flavour, and then I prefer the plain one because I like curry, but I really have to be in the mood for it, and I just find that getting the plain one means that I can spice it however I want and I can get kind of like a wider range of uses out of it. So I'm having my leftover pasta. Again, I only had 2 meals yesterday because I actually got up, well, I woke up at like 9, which is not awful, bearing in mind I have really been struggling with my whole sleep pattern. And then my mum came in and brought me a coffee, the legend. And we had just like a chit chat and a catch up and stuff. And then I sat here and did my makeup. I've got a spot here that I'm not happy about. I think I put too much foundation on today. I went for more full coverage because I was just like, hoo, makeup. You know when you get a little bit carried away? It still looks nice. Can you see? Actually, let me turn this down a little bit. Now I know how to do that. Just so you can see like the texture and stuff. You see that fucking spot? Anyway. It's very matte. And a little bit kind of dry looking, I think. I mean, it's not like, it's nice. I look bright and awake and all of this kind of stuff. I'm gonna wait till it like settles in for a little bit to do my Instagram picture for later. But I did this kind of like fire matte, I guess it kind of looks like candy corn or something. So I did this morning. Oh my god, I can't even talk properly. I like go off on tangents, don't I? Like I actually hate myself. Anyway, it's 1 o'clock and I'm only just eating because I got distracted by face makeup, and I am really like loving the whole wing. I almost didn't do a wing. I was like, am I going to ruin it? But actually it went fine. So. And today I have like, they do feel like tracky bottoms, but I have like a jersey material straight leg trouser on that do have an elasticated waistband, but I just feel a bit more put together. Ignore the fact that I actually have like my actual slippers. But I do have like an actual shirt on today. I have a shirt. I've layered my necklaces. I mean, my hoop earrings are always in. These are just from Amazon, by the way. If you're looking for nice clasp gold ones, I'll link a similar pair down below. They have loads of different brands, but I think they were like £12 or something. These are from Cali Tiger, and then everything on my face is kind of the same as I've been doing and like listed in my previous video. Again, I'll link everything down below. There will be affiliate links, like help a girl out if you want to buy anything. The palette that I used today was the NYX Ultimate Bright, and I used the yellow, then I went into this kind of more orangey yellow, and then I used this like bright coral colour, which is not showing up as bright on this camera, but I assure you it is. That's where we are this morning. This is really nice. It's weird for breakfast, I guess, but technically it's lunchtime. I feel rubbish again today, but I decided to get ready. I'm gonna do some social media stuff, plan some posts that I want to do. I see my social media queens succeeding and I want to succeed. I also really want to hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, so if you don't follow me over there, please do. There's like so many of you here and I have loads of inactive like subscribers. I don't know what is going on, but it's kind of, if you go back a couple of years ago, my view count was way higher. I don't know whether it's the algorithm, I don't know whether it's because like people like Jeffree Star are, you know, all in drama and people love kind of like a drama. I don't know whether it's because I'm boring as fuck, probably that one. But yeah, if you want to go follow me there, there's Q&As and I post more like recipe stuff, and I do like follow me around, you know, like hashtag model diaries and things. So if you don't follow me over there, here is my Instagram. Go give it a look. You can also kind of take a look at my modelling jobs and things. And yeah, so today I have a full face and I'm going to eat this. Try not to mess up my makeup. Oh, what is going on with this one bit of hair? Okay, we have a weird ponytail going on. So, I thought that we would do a little Q&A. So I asked some questions on Instagram and I got quite a few. Amazing. So the first question I have is, how are you dealing with being home all day? Lol, I'm so bored. Aren't we all? To be honest, I went from being for those of you that don't know, for those of you that do, you'll probably be like, we know. But I work as a plus size model. So my job involves a lot of travelling. So this year, before this whole thing happened, I had done like Zanzibar, like lots of different places in Germany because I work there like very frequently. I actually have I'm signed with a London agent, and obviously we do international jobs through there. But I also have specifically an agency in Hamburg as well. I found that it was a welcome break actually to start with. Because I kind of spent all day working and then all evening travelling, and I was doing a lot within the UK between London, where I live in Hampshire, and then going up to Peterborough to do Yours Clothing. So it was absolutely fucking knackering, but I love my job. There are good bits and bad bits, but I'm finding it, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I never thought I'd say it, but I fucking miss it. No, I've always loved my job, but it's kind of one of those things that when you are that busy as I was, and I was also getting some nice trips in, it takes it out of you because as I said, you spend all day working and then you have a job the next day, and it's just that case of like not actually having a set routine or like just sleeping in your own bed. So it was a welcome break to start with, and now, well, I have nothing else to do. I can't work from home. I can produce social media content and stuff, but that's about it. Like, I have nothing to do. I want to do some styling videos. I've been doing some editing. I've been doing like daily vlogging because I'm bored as fuck. I've been doing a lot of cooking. But yeah, the struggle is real. My dad's working from home. My mum is at home. She's not working from home. And it's very weird. It's very weird. I feel like I don't want to go like other places in the house because dad's busy working, so I kind of have been shutting myself in my room, but then I get bored. I think the struggle is real for everyone really. I just happen to be very fortunate in the fact that I'm isolated with other humans, which is nice because there are people for me to talk to and converse with if I need some human interaction. And you know, my house is a nice house. It's not finished, it's still a building site. There's no floor in the bathroom or anything, but I also like, there's a garden, so I have been doing some gardening. It's like not a good, like the garden itself is nice, but it's just like there's weeds everywhere and stuff, so it just, that needs work. So it's given me something to do, but I can imagine that you would probably be far worse off if you were a single parent with a bunch of kids to look after, because that would be very difficult, or B, you know, a family or like a person that was in like a block of flats where you didn't have an outside space. So I'm bored and I'm fed up with it, but I'm counting my blessings that I have an outside space and I have other people to talk to. How do you get your eyeliner so perfect? Well, thank you, Ella. Top tips. Oh no, it's really gross. You won't be able to see how thin it is. This has got eyeliner on it from this morning. Just want to show you. I use a very fine brush. What I recommend to you guys is something very similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills 7B. Can you see how thin that is? And I actually pinch the ends, and what I do is I press it as close to the lash line as possible, and then what I do is I kind of stamp the product just while I get it right, like very faintly, and do this on both sides, and then I join it up so they're even. And then if you need to, you can take the tip of this brush with a teeny little bit of water or Fix Plus or something, and if you haven't got the point sharp, you can like drag the end a little bit. So that's my top tip. The eyeliner I'm using at the moment is the Juvia's Place Black Gel Liner, and I find that that is a really good one. There's a fucking pigeon nesting on the fireplace, terrifying my bearded dragon. Do you mind? Can you hear this? What have you learnt in previous relationships / actual relationship? I've been in my current relationship nearly 2 years, and my partner is a fair bit older than me, and he's not really kind of into social media and stuff, and he has a very like normal job, and so there have been things that have been really tricky. We have kind of the same core values, but I think our lifestyles can be quite different, which sometimes causes friction, which is normal in any relationship. But I think what we've both kind of done is just make sure that we always communicate and come back to each other, and try to do that in a respectful manner. Like, we love each other to bits, and it's a relationship that I feel we can sit down and communicate in, and I think that's really important, because no relationship is perfect, but you know, if there are struggles or there are little hurdles that you both feel able to tackle together, or you want to tackle together, communicating is a massive factor. I think when you stop communicating and you stop looking to work through things when you aren't quite on the same page, that's when you're kind of in trouble. I think I used to want to be in a relationship because I'm a very relationship person. I have always kind of been with a guy, or, you know, because I like being in a relationship. I know what I'm like. I don't enjoy being single. I like having a boyfriend. I like having someone that I know knows me really well and that loves me and that I can share like intimate things with and feels like another best friend and all of that kind of stuff. I've never really been into like dating. I don't enjoy that. I find it very nerve-wracking. I'm a very like settled relationship person, but rather than being in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, I think I've definitely learned as I've got older that there is a level of respect and love and acceptance that I expect from a partner, and that is the only way I will hang around. You know, I'm sure we've all experienced like people not treating you very nicely, and I would say that, you know, as someone who's had mental health problems and stuff in the past, that I have probably been difficult to handle myself as well. And the same can be said like if you're in a relationship where you have a friendship. I know that's tricky, but it's really important to respect yourself and love yourself and expect the other person to do that too. I would never be in a relationship where someone doesn't respect me. Whereas when I was younger, I would stay with a guy even though I knew he might be seeing other girls, or like I'd heard rumours about things, because I thought like, oh, I can change his mind or whatever, or he'll pick me in the end or whatever. And it's like, what? Have some respect for yourself, young lady, you know? So I think as you grow up, your expectations are higher for yourself, and they should be. I think also, having had a lot of mental health problems and things, you learn to communicate better, and I've definitely learned to communicate better with my partner. We talk about things if we don't feel like we're on the same page, and that's a really important part of a respectful and loving relationship. And I think also just being able to accept that sometimes you have a difference of opinion, and that doesn't mean it's detrimental. Like sometimes you just feel differently about stuff, and that's fine. Especially because we have a bigger age gap, I think that we see things quite differently. But I've always been like a much older kind of person for my age since I was like 18, 19, because the modelling, like, it really kind of kicks you into growing up very quickly. But just because like we're, you know, we've grown up differently, and the times like that I've grown up in, especially with social media and things, are so different. Like he would never dream of like filming himself and doing all these kinds of things. So I think it's really, I've learned to kind of accept the differences, accept other people as they are more, and also I have learned that communication is key. Respectful communication is key. If your way of communicating is like yelling and swearing at each other, that's not going to get you very far. But my biggest piece of advice to anyone in a relationship is, as long as like it's an overall a very good relationship, if you do have moments where you're struggling a bit or you've got a little bit of a rough patch, communication is key. And I think as long as you keep talking to your partner, you can work through anything. Like I think of me and my partner as a team, and things have been tricky in the past. You know, if I've got family things going on, or they've got family things going on, or one or other of you's like not mentally feeling good and all this kind of stuff, you know, life throws a lot of shit at you. And I feel very lucky that I have my person that even when it's tricky or we've had a fight, we always come back to each other with an open and honest conversation, and we're able to talk those things through, and that's so important. Have you ever had to do a modelling shout that you were uncomfortable with? Yes. I don't actually know where the pictures of this are, but it went in an editorial magazine. I won't name names, but I was shooting on the Sunday of the royal wedding, so what, I would have been just 18 or something? How long have Will and Kate been married? It was that weekend anyway. I remember being like annoyed because everyone else was like having it off and I had to go in and do an editorial, but I knew it was with a photographer that I'd worked with before, who was a female photographer who was really good, and she did some amazing beautiful like beauty stories and editorials and things, and I always really enjoyed working with her. And I was told that there was going to be some lingerie there, and that was absolutely not a problem. When I got there, it wasn't like lingerie as I knew it. It was like bondage stuff, and it was like corsets, and there was like whips, and there was like gag balls and things. And look, whatever floats your boat, like now I would not have an issue with it. But you know, at the tender age of 18, when I was a lot more innocent than I now am, that made me I freaked. And I remember speaking to my parents and being like, I feel a bit uncomfortable here, like, because I was an adult, so I didn't need a chaperone at that point, and I'd gone and I was already there. I had to get up really early. It was a Sunday. The train service was really bad. I knew like the pictures were supposed to be really cool. So normally when you do like an editorial for a magazine, it's kind of like an honour to be in the magazine, so they don't really pay you. Like I remember doing Russian Vogue once, and it was like £75 for the whole day, minus my agency fee, which is like, I think they take 22%, and then minus my tax out of that, and then by the time I've like got a train into London, like I was in minus money. And so editorial was a little bit like that. The pay is like very low rate for the day, because you get cool pictures for your book out of it, and you get like a credit in a magazine, you get like tear sheets for your portfolio. So that's kind of how it works. But I remember being like, it's the royal wedding, all my friends are like drinking, and it's a nice sunny day, and I have to go to work, and it's an editorial, and I'm not even getting paid. And like being typical, like I was always professional, but like teenagery attitude of like, oh great, the one big day of the year I have to work, and it's lingerie, joy. Because like I think some models enjoy it. Like now I enjoy lingerie, but it's still one of those things that you think, if you're not in a good headspace, it's one of those things. So I turned up and there was like bondage crap everywhere, and me in my little teenage brain was like, what the fuck? This is not lingerie. This is like some other weird shit. And then later on, like, I was in hair and makeup, and I remember being introduced to another model, and this guy was like they'd got a couple of guys from Uglies, which I don't know if it's still around now, but it's like an alternative model agency, like a really good one. And so all these guys are generally like very tattooed and loads of piercings and just kind of like odd looking, like very alternative, like really cool. And so I was like, what are we doing? Some of the pictures were really nice, and it was just kind of like very posy, and I was just like dressed up in the gear, like mainly like corsets and like see-through lingerie and stuff, and the images looked really cool, and there was maybe like some leather belting and things on it. But the last few shots of the day, the actual editor for the magazine came along, and he was not shy about telling me exactly what he wanted me to do. And as a teenager surrounded by a team of people, already kind of freaked at the amount of stuff that I saw on the table that was for me to wear, he ended up wanting me to be stood in front of one guy with like my arms. I was wearing like this corset thing, like a see-through top, so you could like see my nipples and everything. I mean, not that that's a big deal now, but whatever. So I was kind of stood like this, and then they got one of the guys behind me to hold a gag ball in my mouth, and I think was the guy, and there was a guy stood behind him like holding my waist or something. Either way, I felt hideously uncomfortable, despite the fact that some people were asking me if I was okay with shooting like this. I think it was quite clear that I was very uncomfortable. I think even if you are asked on set, if you've got like a room full of people looking at you, I felt pressured into doing it. No one said you have to do this, but especially because the editor was there and he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing for stuff to just get a little bit more and more and more out of my comfort zone. I honestly did not feel like I could say a word. And I went home to my parents and I was really upset about it, and I felt kind of like dirty and ashamed that I'd done it. Like now I'd be like, yeah, let's do this, gonna get some cool images. But as a teenager that had only just like gone full time and not done that many jobs at that point, it really freaked me out, and it was a hideous experience. Now I look at the photos and I think, oh, they're actually really sick. If I can find them, I'll put some here. But I think there is a beauty one. I know that I have that one, it's on my Instagram. But I don't know where like the dodgy looking ones are. But to me now, they're not dodgy, but at the time, because I was so young, this is like 10 years ago now. Well, this is like 8-9 years ago now. It really freaked me out. So yes, I have had bad experiences. That was one of them. And then another one I was doing a photo shoot when I was 16 for a really big kind of department store company. My dad came with me to the photo shoot as a chaperone, and I was photographed by a guy who worked for this big company all the time. I went up to Liverpool to shoot it. Those that are in the industry will know exactly who that is probably. I was given the call sheet with like photographer's number and everything on top. We had a nice shoot, everything went really well. He was really pleased with the photos, client was really happy. I messaged the photographer afterwards, as I often do as an adult now. I just said, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to say thank you very much for today. It was a really good experience working with you. I hope you like the shots, etc, etc. I did do a couple of extra pictures at the end of this job with this guy, but you know, there were other people in the room and stuff. It wasn't like anything gross. It was just like more arty images, because we were shooting catalogue, which is a bit like samey. And so I texted afterwards just to say it was great to work with you, basically, which is something that I do. As I said, I do that often now. I think it's really nice to have a rapport with your colleagues, and I think that just being a nice person and being really grateful for having a nice day on set and just saying thanks to the rest of the team is something that I continue to do, and is just a really nice kind of professional and good thing to do. And I remember getting text messages after that where things got a little bit dodgy, and he was saying things like, oh, I think that you're not the average 16-year-old and all of this stuff, and it got very creepy like quite quickly. I think he was in his early 30s at the time, so he would be like double my age, and you know, at 16 you're like you're kind of a child still, you know. So I've got some real fucking horror stories, I tell you. think we're gonna leave it there for the Q&A. Just thought you guys might enjoy some kind of casual chit-chatty style Q&A things where you get to know me a little bit better. If you have any more questions, maybe I would do like a smaller Q&A section in each of the vlogs or anything. So if you have anything you want to ask, then put it down below for me. And if there's anything that you want to see, put it down below also. Right, I'm gonna go now. I now have a green smoothie. So I've got some Asda green smoothie mix, which I think has a little bit of banana, spinach, apple, cucumber in it. I have put some water, some oat milk, a handful of like fresh spinach, like a lemon wedge, and what else I put in? Oh, a full banana, because I didn't get any banana pieces in my mix. Well, not the stuff I poured out anyway. So I'm going to have this now. And then I'm probably going to do some yoga later and just sit in the garden. So not much going on. I've got my laptop here, so I'm going to edit the vlog that's going up tonight, which is yesterday's vlog. And then, yeah, that will probably be it, to be honest. I might, in a later vlog, like colour my hair or do something. There's just, I mean, look at this. I'll show you. This is what I'm looking like. Look at it. I'm hardly wearing it down. I mean, this would be like a good, like, sexy shoot vibe, wouldn't it? There's a lot of it, and it's very messy, and I don't want to heat style it all the time because it's nice for it to have a bit of a break because I'm not working, and obviously I get my hair heat styled at work all the time. And yeah, so this is the main, and it's starting to go really red as well. It looks like my roots are darker, but they're not. It's just like an ashy colour. Can you see where like this is all starting to fade red? Because my hair's actually quite a bit lighter, but it is more of like an ashy colour. Also, it's greasy. Don't look at it. So yeah, I've got too much hair, and I just can't be asked to do anything with it. So I might colour it because it's dual colour, and I feel very pale as well. So rather than putting on a ridiculous amount of bronzer and a ton of makeup tomorrow, I think I might have like more of a fresher makeup look, and I might actually fake tan at some point as well, because I think it will just make me feel a little bit more alive. So I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog. I apologise if it's not very interesting. Maybe we'll do some watercolour or something later in the week. If you haven't checked the last one out, please do. I'll leave a link up here. It should come up any second now on the suggested videos anyway. And yeah, stay safe, stay inside, be good, behave yourselves, and let me know if there are any good like Netflix series or anything like that that you think I would enjoy. I've seen Tiger King, and all I have in my head now is that fucking TikTok song. Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't tell me that it didn't happen. So I need to get off TikTok. It's not okay. Netflix suggestions in the comments would be grand. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Stay safe. Lots of love to you all. Thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. All of that good stuff. I hope you're okay. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Bye.